Well, this certainly was a bit of shocking news, to say the least. I'm sure Michael's excited about it. I am less excited about this, and that is that Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay, we need to clarify once and for all. Is this Kong versus Godzilla, or is it Godzilla versus Kong? I think it's Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong is getting moved up 2 whole months and is now coming out March 26th. I am of two minds of this. I think it is awesome that we're getting this sooner, because it means I get to see it sooner. I think this is bad because this does not speak to a vote of confidence, and here's why. If Legendary Warner Brothers thought this movie could make money at the box office, they would have delayed it a few months or seen how vaccines and everything else is handling it to see if people are going back to the theater. The fact that they're moving it up 2 months, to me at least, shows that they don't care about how it performs at the box office, and therefore, to me at least, don't have that much faith in it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm too pessimistic. Maybe I'm still down from King of the Monsters. Michael, do you see it differently at all? Is this worrying or a positive to you?
It's worrying financially because I want to see this franchise actually do well. But if this movie doesn't do well, make money, I don't think they make another one. I think they scrap this character for a long time and try in maybe 5-6 years to try a different Godzilla. Because Godzilla will always be there in some iteration. It's too big internationally and in international markets alone for it to just die in the cinematic universe in any case. It's just hard in the American space. It always has been, and I will say that as somebody who is a fan, I'm saddened by that. This does not, encourage me from the box office wise. The one thing that I have to say, we haven't even seen a trailer for this yet, Nathan. We don't know what the movie's called. I was thinking about this as this was released. I don't know what this movie is about other than the obvious, but like why? We haven't seen anything except for like literally 3 seconds of footage that was teased officially.
Across two different trailers.
Yes, yes, that's right. So that's the more worrying part is that they move it up and we still don't have a trailer. Why wouldn't they have moved it up with the announcement trailer for this film?
Dude,
why?
Can you imagine, this would have been one of the smartest things they could have done from a publicity standpoint is just drop a trailer and at the end saying, coming March 26th.
Thank you.
Say the date at the end of the trailer. But to your point of we don't have a trailer or anything marketing, now I think this is out of Legendary's hand. This was a Warner Brothers decision to go, okay, this needs to go to HBO Max sooner rather than later because I think this is going to come in contact with another thing that we'll talk about later, HBO Max involved. I don't think this is a good idea. This is a bad move because to me it just screams you don't have confidence in this movie. But it also, to me, means we're getting a trailer sooner rather than later. Same with Mortal Kombat. We're not talking about today, but some pictures came out from Entertainment Weekly. Official stills of the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming to theaters and HBO Max. So expect a trailer for that sometime soon, as well as a trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong, because those are really, really right around the corner. We already have a trailer for Tom and Jerry. I think that's the next Warner Brothers movie that's going theatrical and HBO Max, which... Michael, did you see the trailer for Tom and Jerry?
I purposely didn't watch it because I wanted to...
Lucky.
I wanted to keep my memories of my childhood intact.
It's booty. It's straight booty, man. It's so bad. Like, it looks like Mousetrap with Nathan Lane. Yeah,
oh
I want to be excited for Godzilla vs. Kong. I know this is your most anticipated movie of the year. I want to be excited. But Warner Brothers, through no fault of Legendary, they're the ones that are making this. They're nothing to do with them, but everything to do with how this movie's been handled from a behind-the-scenes aspect has just really drained my excitement for this. And the fact that you moved it up in this really uncertain market right now just screams to me that you're not confident in what you've made. And maybe it's you've got burned too much with King of the Monsters, which I know you liked it, but a lot of people didn't, and it didn't have the box office returns that they're hoping for. These newer MonsterVerse has not paid off in the way that they were hoping. Like,
No,
I don't mind
not
the
at all.
2014 one, and Kong Skull Island is still my favorite of this whole MonsterVerse, but none of them have reached the peaks that I'm sure Warner Brothers and Legendary have been hoping for. And there's only one reason for that. It's they didn't cross it over with the Pacific Rim Jaegers. That's the only thing that's been wrong with this entire franchise. And that's completely serious from me. No sarcasm whatsoever there. Yeah, this makes me worried. But because we like to be positive here on the podcast, we're getting it 2 months early. So my prediction about the thing that they're going to fight that I said last year in my predictions that I can't tell you now because some toy leaks said what it was. We're going to see that sooner rather than later. We're going to see Kong beat Godzilla because he will. Kong will beat Godzilla. We'll come back to this. He will. From a positive standpoint, it would mean I get to see it 2 months earlier. And then if it's safe, which the theaters around me, they do a very good job. So I will see this in theaters. It'll be the first new movie in months. And then if I like it, I don't know if I will or not, I can rewatch it at home in 4K, assuming devices are supported by then HBO Max. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Nate. I have enjoyed everything that the MonsterVerse has done, but I'm in the minority, and I understand why I'm in the minority. I'm not perplexed. I'm not mad because the films are not the biggest spectacles. But when you look at what they could have done overseas, I mean, they're an Americanized version of an international character that's so beloved in Asia. So when we try to do something with a different spin without a lot of care and affection towards the original and source material, it's not really going to be very appealing to those markets, considering right around 2014 Godzilla, they actually did their own version of it, and it did incredibly well. So it's not as if the character doesn't have appeal. It's just how it's done. And let's be honest, us American audiences, unless it's Jurassic Park or like a Jaws, we're not big like monster movie type of people. Pacific Rim, was dumb, fun action, but we're not going to pretend that it made a lot of money here domestically.
Yep.
And Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, like that's another example. So it's just not a genre that has done very well here, for better for worse. I'm not judging the quality or anything on that. So we don't have that affinity for it, and so it's hard to break in that market. I'm one of those people, so I'm glad that they exist. And if we stop at 4 movies, I'll say that was 4 more movies than I was ever expecting to see in the American version, with a lot of money behind it. So I got to be grateful, but I think the writing's on the wall here with this entire, MonsterVerse, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think at least from an American audience standpoint, people are familiar with Godzilla, but it doesn't mean they're Godzilla fans. It's like when an anime gets a live action adaptation like Alita Battle Angel. It did really well in the overseas markets, but the American audience, for whatever reason, it just didn't resonate with them. And the same thing will happen with foreign markets. Star Wars does incredibly well domestically, does not translate super well to the overseas markets. Like China has never liked the Star Wars movies. They always historically flop over there. So it could just be cultures of those Godzilla and Kong, those type of movies do really, really well in specific markets. Maybe the American market is just not one of those movies. That's fine. If you enjoy them, that's fine. That's awesome. Like what you want to like.